So then you leave university,
Yeah.
but you've got these successful clubs, and you're very early 20s.
Yeah.
What's the next step for you?
Well, that was kind of it, really, because it was kind of like, doing these club nights, but then, so I was lucky enough to roll out of uni and still be doing these club nights, having wads of cash. Wads of cash some week and then wads of cash, then nothing other weeks. So that idea of kind of balancing freelance structure where there's no reliable income. I suppose that does push you to look to open other avenues and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But you've got this really good little black book by now of contacts.
Yeah, and that's literally from asking people for their numbers.
Yeah.
Looking on the back of CDs. Just looking for a contact somewhere.
Yeah.
I was doing club nights in different places, and that world changed. It changed a lot. It changed from being kind of like hip hop to hip hop, basically. So it was kind of, it all started becoming about money, bling, all that kind of stuff, and also the kind of people that were turning up the clubs, and it all started becoming very fashion and showy, and it just wasn't. I didn't really find that whole world of 10 rooms and China Whites and those whole West End clubs. It is about bottle service and all that kind of stuff, which is something that I ended up learning, and it wasn't really, where
you wanted to stand.
No, I suppose there was a bit of a ceiling to it there as well. It's all cool and fun, but you're only as cool as your mates who are turning up. I do remember getting a bit kind of frustrated with it and what have you. So I was kind of like, and my music tastes were changing. The more and more that I was kind of getting into music, the more and more I was kind of discovering new and different kinds of music.
Yeah.
And all throughout uni, I didn't really go to those West End clubs, really. To be honest, my first experience of them was when I was promoting in them, because it was quite an easy avenue to get in, the opportunity arose. But I go to places like Cargo or Fabric or Bar Rumba at the time, and I was more into clubbing music. I did love the whole throughout and all that jiggle, but I also loved getting smashed and put my head in a drum and bass speaker.
Yeah.
Or Mampy Swift mashed it up. I don't know. I was a bit of a weirdo. I always liked to kind of mix up disciplines and or just look for a point of difference. Basically, that whole idea of like just booking a DJ and putting him in the corner of the room just didn't really appeal to me. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
And there was a million people doing it as well. And so I ended up doing a series of nights at the ICA. With Deal Real Records, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was like a hip hop records shop.
We used to do stuff with Deal.
Oh yeah, cool. They used to do like really cool installs with people like Mos Def and Talib Kweli, just on the street in Carnaby Street. Just and everyone was like all these guys in hoods, like yeah. And Doc Scott was one of them. Not Doc Scott. Doc Brown.
Doc Brown, yeah.
Yeah, he was like the resident. So I did stuff with them, and that opened up. We ended up doing a big old event for the Prince's Trust when they were doing all that stuff with Jay-Z, Earls Court and all that kind of stuff. So we started working with those guys.
So what were you doing when you were working on a Jay-Z event?
And it wasn't Jay-Z wasn't playing, but he was part of the program.
Okay.
And so we were like doing the after parties or whatever.
Okay, right.
It was all about UK hip hop. That was
right.
it. Yeah. So it was the UK hip hop night, and like Sway and all those guys. And then for the Prince's Trust, it was all about getting new MCs to come and battle on stage, all that kind of stuff. There was this, I can't remember what it was called, but there was quite a big night going on in London at the time, which was all about hip hop MC battles. I can't remember what it's called, but it was massive at the time. We kind of combined with them, and that whole idea of getting up into a ring and battling and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that, and that kind of that opened me up to not doing kind of regular club nights. That was like, you can start putting in different disciplines, and you know, we started using guys that we thought were like great illustrators for the flyers.
Yeah.
You know, using the flyer to promote their work and all that kind of stuff.